importantly, the dates for the Young Farmers Concert are the 8th, 9th and 10th of March, and tickets go on sale Saturday the 10th of February. 9 o'clock at the Welcome Centre. They don't go, no telephone sales until at least 11 o'clock, and they're not online until the Monday. So if you want tickets, you have to get down there in the queue. I was just chatting to you guys just before we came on air that Young Farmers tickets, last year there was people there from 11 o'clock. They were sat in their cars waiting.
Now, when you
for
say
the doors
11
to
o'clock,
open.
you mean the night before?
The night before, yeah. That is, they queued for Young Farmers tickets earlier than what they were there queuing for Gary Barlow tickets.
Quite right too.
And that's quite an accolade, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's good going.
Honestly, I couldn't believe it. I was trying to get a cheeky bit of marketing in at the time when the Gary Barlow tickets went on sale. Honestly, I couldn't believe that people would queue earlier for Young Farmers tickets than they did for Gary Barlow.
11 o'clock the night before.
Yeah.
Is that a record then? Because I know it used to be sort of 3, 4 a.m. people would be down there at the doors, but 11 o'clock the night before.
I think it possibly might be. I honestly couldn't believe it when I went down there early the next morning because I thought it's really important for us to go down and show face and chat to some people that have been in the queue, especially some people they've been year after year there queuing and they all know each other. You know, it's a bit of a competition where they are in the queue. But honestly, I could not believe it had been 11 o'clock the night before. I was gobsmacked.
And we're not just talking other farmers here, are we? This is something that brings the whole Isle of Man together.
It really does. The more I'm involved, last year was my first year as the Secretary of the Federation, and I've been in the Young Farmers Concert myself for many years. I'll not tell you how many, but I'm surprised every year that there's more and more a broad spectrum of people that come to watch. We seem to attract a different crowd every year. We do 3 nights, we sell out. You're lucky if you can get tickets. We have chatted briefly this year, possibly about pushing it to a 4th night next year. We're not really sure how that would work, whether it would work or not, if we're popular enough to sell 4 nights, or should we just stick to 3. It's discussions probably that we'll have as the year goes on this year. But, you know, it's quite impressive, really, that just a bunch of volunteers, we just put this show on.
I love Ben that she says, if we're popular enough. You're more popular than Gary Barlow, Hayley.
Yeah, now Gary could do 4 nights easily, couldn't he? So I think you definitely could. But Hayley, why do you think the concerts are so popular year after year? They don't seem to lose their appeal at all, do they?
No, they really don't. And there are people that come and watch, like I said, year on year. They've been there since the start, which does make it hard for, if you're in the concert, if you're trying to find new material. Especially years ago, you'd be in the concert and you'd watch Morecambe and Wise on the television at Christmas. They'd put on a good sketch and then you would maybe put your own version of that on, which went down quite well with the audience. However, now, you see things on YouTube, but if you try and rip something off the television and do a version, it's just not quite so acceptable these days. So it's a lot more, possibly more so, there's a lot of original material going into it, and it's harder and harder to write things. But, we try and keep it topical. It's always about material that's been in the news over the last 12 months. So it's ever changing all the time, isn't it?
And Isle of Man governments and the MHKs and so forth, they are good providers of material for your shows.
They are, and they're really good sports as well. Last year we had the Chief Minister as one of the judges, which was really brilliant. They do support us. I think anything that's been in the news is fair game, really. We do have our limits. We would never push anything too personal or anything like that. But if it's political decisions that they've been making, or things that the government have been doing, then it's. I think that's why the public enjoy it, is because we're just expressing our views, which the audience most of the time are agreeing with.